We just need to find 4 seats. How hard can it be? Wow, but it looks super crowded. I don't think there's any space for us to sit. What are we gonna do? I have a class in 20 minutes. I really hope I can get my food in time. Oh, but the queue looks really long. And I don't even know how long this queue will take. Wow, it's so crowded. How can we get out? Oh my god, a bird! Oh, it's scary. Okay, come, let's go this way. No choice. It's so hard. There's no It's quite
Extension, okay. Hey guys, so how's
Hi.
SS? We were just at extension. And
Yeah.
it was so hot.
It was so hot. And then like there were a lot of birds, right? And then there were bird shits on it.
And there was
too.
a cigarette smell.
Yeah, there was a cigarette smell. And then the waiting time was quite long. The queue was so long that the auntie told us to go behind to queue even longer.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
any better at SS?
Yeah, is it?
Hey guys, South Spine wasn't good. Yeah, the birds were.
Oh, and the table makes sense all the queue to reverse shit.
It was too crowded, too hot. Okay, we're on our way to Jurong Point now.
See you there.
Hopefully it's better. Bye. Okay.
Okay, see you there.
Hi, Jurong Point. Firstly, the ambience is very lively and welcoming. It's air conditioned as well, so it's very cooling.
Secondly, the environment is quite clean. There are no bird droppings and trash around.
Thirdly, the queues are relatively short and thus able to buy food quickly. There's also a lot of food options from different cuisines and there's affordable food choices as well.
Lastly, there were lots of seating options for us to easily find a table, and the tables were spaced nicely and really comfortable. So that's why we chose Jurong Point.
If you ever try to get lunch at South Spine, you know the struggle during peak hours. Long queues, nowhere to sit, and let's be honest, questionable cleanliness.
It's a problem that every NTU student faces, but nobody had ever stopped to ask. What exactly makes this experience so unsatisfying? Is it the wait? Is it the crowds? Or is it the smell? So our team decided to find out using data.
We started by identifying the key factors that could afford food court satisfaction: cleanliness, presence of birds, waiting time, seating availability, ventilation, and food variety. Then, we designed a survey and collected ratings from 50 students on their experience.
With the data collected, we looked at analysis. We didn't just look at averages, we used statistical tools like correlation to see how strongly each factor was linked to overall satisfaction, and regression analysis to find out which factors were the drivers.
This data-driven approach allowed us to move beyond guesses and assumptions. We could test our hypothesis, like whether cleanliness really has no effect, and get a clear mathematical answer.
For example, by creating scatter plots with a line of best fit, we could visually see the relationship. It became immediately obvious that as cleanliness ratings went up, so did satisfaction scores. The connection was undeniable.
The regression analysis gave us the real power. It let us create an equation that predicts satisfaction. This meant we could say with confidence things like, for every extra minute of waiting, overall satisfaction drops by 0.15 points.
So to recap our journey, we identified a universal student problem, broke it down into measurable factors, gathered real data from our peers, and applied rigorous statistical analysis to pinpoint not just what matters, but how much it matters.
Today, we'll be presenting our statistical study on dining experience in our school canteen. Our central research question is, which factors most strongly affect students' overall satisfaction with canteen experience? To explore this, we surveyed 50 students across different levels. Each student rated overall satisfaction, our dependent variable, cleanliness, waiting time in minutes, seating availability, ventilation, and smell. We then used correlation analysis to study relationships between variables and multiple regression analysis to determine which factors have the greatest influence on satisfaction. This approach allows us to move beyond mere opinions and uncover quantitative evidence for what truly shapes students' dining experience. On this slide, we are looking at a relationship between overall satisfaction and cleanliness. We used a simple linear regression and the equation as shown. Overall satisfaction equals to 0.93 times cleanliness plus 0.09. This means the slope is a positive 0.93. So for every 1 point increase in cleanliness, on a scale of 1 to 5, we would expect an overall satisfaction to increase by 0.93 points on the average. And that is a 1-for-1 increase. The intercept is 0.09. That is predicted satisfaction when the cleanliness rating is 0. In real life, we do not see cleanliness rating as 0, but the intercept helps us to position the line on the graph. We also have an R-squared value on 0.942. The R-squared tells us how well the straight line explains the data. Here, about 94% of the variation in the overall satisfaction can be explained just by cleanliness. So the key message from this slide shows that cleanliness has a very strong positive and consistent impact on how satisfied students are with the food court.
So this slide shows the overall satisfaction plotted against the rating for free of birds and pests. So we applied a simple linear regression, which has the equation of overall satisfaction equals to 0.90 times birds and pests plus 0.43. So here the slope is a positive 0.90. So this means that if the fear of birds and pests rating increases by 1 point, meaning that the food court has lesser birds and pests, overall satisfaction will go up by about 0.9 points on average. So the y-intercept is 0.43, which is the predicted satisfaction if the fear of birds and pests rating were 0. So this mainly serves to anchor the line. The R-squared value is 0.941, which is about 94% of the variation in satisfaction that can be explained by the fear of birds and pests rating alone. So this tells us that better control of birds and pests is strongly associated with higher satisfaction.
Here we look at overall satisfaction versus waiting time, measured in minutes. We fitted a simple linear regression, and the equation of the line is overall satisfaction equals to negative 0.33 times waiting time in minutes plus 5.85. The slope is negative 0.33. This tells us that for each additional minute of waiting, the satisfaction score drops by about 0.33 points on average. So, if waiting time increases by 3 minutes, we would expect satisfaction to decrease by roughly 1 full point on the 5-point scale. The intercept is 5.85. This is the predicted satisfaction if the waiting time was 0 minutes. In practice, nobody has exactly 0 waiting time, but this value sets the starting height of the line. At the bottom, we have r squared equals to 0.963. This means about 96% of the variation in overall satisfaction can be explained just by waiting time. So, the main takeaway from this slide is that waiting time has a very strong, negative, and consistent effect on satisfaction. The longer students have to queue, the less satisfied they feel with the food court.
The slope here is positive 0.95. This tells us that a 1 point increase in seating availability, meaning more or better seating, raises satisfaction by about 0.95 points on average. The intercept is 0.01. That is the predicted satisfaction when the seating rating is 0, which is not realistic. But it positions the line in the graph. The R squared is 0.931. So around 93% of the variation over satisfaction is explained by seating availability alone. The implication is that having enough comfortable seats is closely linked to higher student satisfaction. This slide shows the overall satisfaction versus ventilation and smell. The simple linear regression equation is overall satisfaction equals to 0.93 times ventilation and smell plus 0.09. So the slope is positive 0.93. This means improving the ventilation and smell, rating by 1 point, increases overall satisfaction by about 0.93 points on average. The intercept is 0.09, again, mainly used to position the line. The R-squared value is 0.942, which means that about 94% of the variation in satisfaction is explained by ventilation and smell alone. In other words, a fresh, well-ventilated, pleasant-smelling environment is strongly associated with higher satisfaction.
Firstly, we can have a feature that allows the students to take photos of the dirty areas. Furthermore, they can choose the categories that they fall under, and then afterwards it will be sent to our cleaners. Also get notifications whether the problem has been resolved or not within the app. Next, we'll have a feature that allows them to see the waiting times at each canteen. It will show the different stalls and their waiting times, ranging from fast, moderate, to long. I have a Find Me a Seat feature that allows them to see the different table options available at each canteen. Also the packs that it allows to accommodate for, so that they can find a table for their group of friends. So we'll earn points within our app, and afterwards they can redeem vouchers. This incentivizes them to continue report problem statements within our canteen to help us improve the overall canteen experience for everyone. We'll also be given notifications for queue alerts and seat availability within our app.